some reason when it actually started working. So, need to make sure my monitor's muted and this is muted. Perfect. All right, looks like it's showing up. So there's a little bit of a delay um, between you and me. So I'm not late, you're late. All right. Welcome to the final night of this weekend's art drop. This is not the piece. This is the piece. I have not hung it yet. The hanger that's behind this is way too big for this piece. So this is the piece for tonight. Now, early bird, I know I've said it a bunch of times. If you come and join me live or watch the replays, the early bird special ends tonight at midnight. All right. This gorgeous piece is $9.97 and it will go up to $13.47 at midnight tonight. Okay. So, what I wanted to do was tell you a little bit about me, tell you my story, how I wound up creating these pieces, and then I'll tell you a little bit about this piece, and we'll call it a night. Hopefully, one of you jumps and grabs this piece before midnight, before the price goes up. Um, and if you don't want to listen to me talk, there's a gold button right below the video. It says buy now. If you click it, it's going to scroll you down to the order form. It's two-part order form. It's your name and address, stuff like that, your personal information, shipping information. The second page, after you click, like go to step 2, it's just credit card information and click complete order. And then it will be yours. So let me tell you a little bit about myself and then about the piece, and we'll call it a night. And I'll be waiting to see if someone grabs it before the price goes up, or if I'm going to hang it in my office. All right, so welcome. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I know it's late on Sunday night, so if you're joining me or watching the replay even later than this, I really appreciate you coming out. It really does mean a lot to me. I know I say it a lot, but for somebody to take that any amount of time out of their day to watch what I'm doing or to check out my art or anything like that, it really does mean the world to me. Like, without you guys, I wouldn't, be able to continue doing this. So thank you. Um, about 5 years ago, my art saved me from myself. Um, I had gotten into a really dark place mentally. My I had recently gotten out of the Navy and landed a six-figure job, which is what I wished for, and apparently I got what I wished for. And um, sometimes when you get what you wish for, it's not what you thought it would be. And in the transition of getting out of the Navy and landing this job and all that chaos between moving and everything, I hadn't realized, but I lost my identity. I basically took off my identity and lost all my friends from the Navy all at the same time because I moved away and completely changed careers. And to, I'll tell you, anybody that's been in the service, they know that military life is completely different from civilian life. So, all this huge change, and then my job was like all consuming. So I didn't really have any time to process that, and it put me into a really dark place mentally. I didn't have any time for my family to do anything I wanted to do. Um, but luckily, I believe that God inspired me to take some time and start creating. Um, and I started just making things, which eventually turned into the river art that I create today. And um, in doing that, that dark place that I was in mentally just vanished, it completely disappeared. And I said to my wife, I was like, I don't know how to make this work, but I know this is what I need to be doing. So we cut all our expenses, did everything we could, and I wound up leaving that position. Um, and now it's been about 5 years, and I feel so blessed to be able to wake up every day knowing that this is what I get to do with my life. I get to create these beautiful pieces for you guys. I get to create pieces of art that represent the places and the things that are special to me, and I get to share that with you. And I hope that these pieces resonate with you as much as they resonate with me. So when I started creating um, woodworking projects and art and things like that, I would get wood wherever I could find it. So sometimes I'd go to commercial lumber yards. I would find neighbors that were like doing renovations, and I would like grab wood from them that they were getting rid of or whatever. And even what I call urban lumberjacks. They're these guys that cut trees down in neighborhoods that are like threatening houses or that are diseased and threatening to fall, or they'll rescue them from if they've already fallen, they'll take them and they cut them up like a lumber, kind of like a commercial lumber yard would uh, but they've salvaged this tree rather than just growing it and cutting it for commercial purposes. So they salvage this tree and they allow, you know, people like me to give it a beautiful new lease on life. So I take these pieces of wood and I create art with them. And I quickly realized that I hated wasting wood. I found myself using scraps for absolutely everything. I have this is just a print, canvas print of a piece, but the mountains in this piece, I had a scrap of wood that I made this piece with, that the original piece with, obviously, that the piece just screamed mountains at me. So I cut it up and I made it into a mountain piece. But I've always, I just find these, anytime I've bought wood and I'm getting down to like the last bits of it, I find, you know, for lack of a better phrase, I find great joy in creating something beautiful with the smallest amount possible, or whatever I have left, so that it doesn't go to waste. It doesn't always turn into art. Sometimes it turns into other projects, but um, when I can turn it into an art piece, that's my favorite. So this piece in particular, now that I haven't showed it to you since the beginning, this piece in particular, this is a pristine collection. Um, This collection in particular uses maple burl, which is just this absolutely gorgeous figured wood. You can see it here. I know YouTube doesn't really give me, but look at all these lines and the feathering, the curls. It's just, it's so gorgeous. You really need to see this in person to appreciate it. But the Pristine Collection it features maple burl wood and a deep blue resin river. So the like I said, I like to use the wood that's been salvaged and rescued from, instead of going to the landfill, we can turn it into beautiful things like art and furniture. Um, and this piece is no different. The wood that I use for the Pristine Collection so far, and for I have enough to make like a medium large piece and then a small piece or two medium pieces. So depending on when orders come in for that. Um, but this piece actually was salvaged out of a bog right down the road in Woodruff, South Carolina. It had fallen, and they pulled it out. They sliced it up. It takes about 2 years for it to dry, um, and then once it dries, uh, it goes or once it's air dried for about 2 years. They stick it in a kiln, and the kiln removes all the rest of the moisture from it, so that it can be used for projects like this, for art, for furniture. Um, so once it's all dry, people like me show up, and I grabbed this gorgeous piece of wood. I actually didn't need this piece of wood when I got it. I believe I was actually picking out this piece of wood, this walnut here, but I saw this and I was like, I need to take that home. That's going to turn into some beautiful art, and now we have it here. So this piece in particular is it's such a great size to work with, because this can I'll turn and I'll show you what I'm going to do with it until I have to pack it up. But it's a perfect size for a small wall that you have that's maybe in a transitional area going from one room to another, in between doorways, things like that, or a corner spot like I'm going to show you over here. Um, or it can be put into a cluster of art pieces, because it's not just this massive piece like this is. This is a statement piece that's meant for like a wall. This piece, while it will draw your attention and it's beautiful to look at, it's not. You don't need to have an enormous amount of wall space to pick this one up, especially if it's your first river piece. This is a great size to start with, and if you pick it up before midnight tonight, the early bird pricing, I mean, it's a no-brainer. It's just $9.97. But at midnight it goes up to $13.47, so you got to jump on it. But this piece, like I said, the wood was taken out of the tree, the maple tree that had a massive burl on it, which is like if you ever notice a tree and it has those big swollen areas on it, that's burl. Uh, and it just creates these amazing patterns in the wood, like this here. This one had some amazing curl and feathering in it. I'm going to bring it to the camera again. It's really hard to show it and see what I'm doing. So I'm sorry that my face keeps getting in the way as well. Uh, but it's just This wood is unbeatable. Now like I said, I have a little bit left of this wood that I can do a custom commission for. There is an order queue currently of about 4 orders, so I'm working on the first order that came in, and when I finish that, it'll be the next one and the next. So as it goes. So if you wanted a custom size of this, there would be a little bit of a wait. However, you'd be one of the last people to get this. I think he doesn't have any more ready till, I think he said 12 to 18 months. I could be wrong. I'll double check with him, but I know it's a really long time until it's ready because it's still air drying. It has to go through that process. Um, One of the other things I mentioned in the emails, if you had gotten them, um, let me just check the chat, make sure I'm not missing anybody like I did yesterday. Um, One of the things that I talked about in the emails and in the previous lives is that I'm doing not a promotion, like a special for anybody that is joining me live, or wants to get in on this size piece for a different style. I will honor the early bird price for those commissions as long as you email me or text me before midnight tonight. So, like I said, this is a 16 inch. It's 16 inches by 12 inches, and it hangs flush against the wall. I'll show you that in a minute with this piece because I don't have the hanger for this piece up just yet. But um, if you wanted to say that, this style, the coalesce collection, or coalesce with a darker blue, or aquamarine, which is very similar to this. It could have a lighter blue and a calmer maple grain. Any of the ones from my gallery. If you go to chrishaggertyart.com/gallery and find the style you like, if you want this size 16 by 12, I'll honor the $9.97 price like this one is until midnight tonight. So you just got to shoot me an email, chrishaggertyart@gmail.com. Super easy. Or text me at 864-757-2588. And in my gallery, actually on the buttons, it'll say text and then my phone number. But text the word art drop so that I know it's in relation to this. I'll be up tonight to field those text messages when they come in, or emails. So don't worry about texting me late. Just make sure you do it before midnight, because that's when, even on this page won't be available anymore after midnight, or at least the order form won't be. So I'm going to keep checking the chat, make sure there's no questions coming in. No, I see there's a few people in here. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you coming in. So, let me think. What can I spice this up with? If I mean, really, the 16 by 12 size for $9.97. If you wanted one of those other styles, like if this one doesn't, float your boat. I mean, this piece is absolutely gorgeous. But if you're not into this color combination and you wanted something else, you have a different style in mind. I mean, a 16 by 12 for this price is just it's really like I don't make many small ones like this. That's why I wanted to open the floor to you guys as a thank you for showing up and for your support, to be able to get that at the early bird price as long as it's before midnight. And unfortunately, if you reach out to me after midnight, I can't honor the price, and that's because I need to honor my word to you guys. So if I tell you that the price is going to change and that it's only available during the early bird, like, I need to keep my word to you guys. So um, quick movers will have the advantage to grab this piece at that price. But that's why you guys signed up for this early bird list, to get the access to hang out with me here and to hear my story. And hopefully the story resonates with you. For me, rivers are where my family and I, we spend almost all of our time when we go on vacations. We're almost always traveling to a river. There's so many rivers around here, and just north in North Carolina in the mountains there. It's absolutely my favorite place to go, if you couldn't tell. All right. So what I uh, what I hope you guys do is, by joining this early bird list, is, if this piece isn't your style, or, I hope that there's a piece that comes up in the future where you're able to take advantage of that early bird pricing. Um, oh yeah, I wanted to show you the hanging. I'm holding it by the hanging hardware right here. It's on the back. It's just a French cleat. I'll show you how that system works with this piece on the wall real quick before we sign off. So I'm going to make sure on this screen that you can see the whole thing. So I just gotta, yep, you can see it. Okay, so this piece, I'm pulling on it. That's not going to go anywhere. Okay, The piece itself is 51 pounds, this big piece. This piece is not. I mean, you just saw me holding it up for however long. It's about 5 pounds, 5 or 7 pounds, okay? Um, but it's still going to have the same, um, excuse me, holding strength as the style hanger on this. It's the same style hanger. And what I did, or what you do, so you see that piece of wood that's on the wall? It hooks onto the piece of wood that's on the back of this. I'll turn this so you can see. See? Just a piece of wood on the back. And you just slide it right on, and it hangs flush. Let me see if it's, I gotta slide it over a little bit. You can adjust it by sliding it left or right. So if you hang it, I create the pieces, um, just like on that piece, it goes, I could just clean this up before I ship it out, but this goes from one side to the other, complete. And then the hanger on the wall won't be as wide, so that you can hang it and then you can adjust it a little bit if you need to, um, center it a little better when you hang it on the wall. But these pieces will come with everything you need to hang it on the wall. It'll come with the cleat that goes on the wall. That's what that piece of wood's called. That this just pops right onto. It'll come with all the screws you need, um, and the wall anchors. And if you need a level, I'll even send that to you. This piece is super small, or compared to this piece anyway. So it shouldn't, this piece should not be, you know, it won't be cumbersome to hang. It's just this little, cleat that'll come with it. Just super simple to pop it on the wall. But like I said, again, this early bird price of $9.97 expires when the timer on the page hits 0, which is midnight tonight. And then the price will be $13.47, where it'll stay. If you click the Buy Now button below this video, it'll take you to that order form we talked about, where it asks you your name, email, phone number, and your shipping address. And then you click Go to Step 2, and go to Step 2, Step 2 will have your credit card information, and you just click Complete Order, and then this will be yours. I'll send you a confirmation email to make so you know that I got it. I will confirm your address with you in that email. It's just another thing I like to do to make sure there's no hiccups in shipping. And then I will pack up this piece nice and pretty, and it'll be sent to you as soon as I can get it out the door. That's the great thing about these early birds. Not only do you get the early bird pricing, but you don't have to wait in the order queue, because I've already made the piece, because it was something that I just wanted to make. And this one is just the price is so accessible, a hair under $1,000. And, but like I said, it does go up at midnight. So make sure you jump on that. I'm going to sign off for the night. I'll be up. Shoot me an email, chrishaggertyart@gmail.com, if you wanted to order a different 16 by 12 before midnight for the same $9.97 price. Or you can shoot me a text. It's 864-757-2588. And I'll keep checking periodically until midnight tonight, Eastern. And hopefully someone's able to pick this up before it's taken down, okay? It's automatically going to go away. So once that timer's up, it's gone. Again, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you taking the time out, for real. This is like, I love to do this, but to know that other people would actually take time out of their day to come just hang out with me, it really means the world. Like, I love doing this. This is a passion of mine. Rivers are extremely meaningful to me, ever since I was a little kid. So this is just a way for me to kind of take the feelings that I get and send them to you in your home. So I hope that someone else appreciates this enough to pick it up, and I'll send it straight to you. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me. Again, any questions, anything like that, chrishaggertyart@gmail.com or 864-757-2588. All right. You guys have a great night. Thanks again so much for joining me. And if you're in the replay, thank you too. To know that you sat and watched a replay of me talking blows my mind, the support that requires. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You guys have a good night. All right.